It will be the defining image in a week of joy and celebrations. Prince William and wife Kate emerging from a London hospital to introduce their new prince to the world. The royal couple broke from protocol, casually walking out of the Lindo wing to chat to the media about their darling baby boy.
Welcome to your new world, young fellow. The young prince in the arms of his mother, dad at her elbow, emerging to a roar from the waiting crowd. William, still working on his slightly daggy wave, his son having a first shot at it. A lip reader, sure, Kate said, got him, mind his head, as William took the baby. Then down to meet the waiting media. The pictures of this moment were beaming live around the planet.
Well, he's got a good pair of lungs on him, that's for sure. He's a big boy, he's quite heavy.
This is the continuation of the story of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, the young royals who've captured the hearts and minds of millions of people right around the world. From their engagement to their wedding to now the birth of their baby boy, the Cambridges are now the most famous family on earth.
We're still working on a name, so we'll have that as soon as we can, but it's the first time we've seen him really, so having a proper chance to catch up and see. Very emotional.
Yeah, it's very emotional and it's such a special time. I think any parent, I think, will probably sort of know what this feeling feels like. So
It's very special. It was, and I'll remind him of his tardiness when he's a bit older, because I know how long you've all been sat out here, so hopefully the hospital and you guys can all go back to normal now and we can look after him. So he's got her looks, thankfully.
no, I'm not sure about that.
Wall to wall, TV and newspaper cameras buzzing and whirring, every other hand raised with a smartphone, capturing the moment.
Oh, we've done that already.
He's done the first already.
It's good.
Nurses having a peep, people clambering for a perch, anything to get a picture.
She's got way more than me, thank God. Thanks a lot, thank you.
Kate knows these images taken today will last for centuries. And the dress, perfect for the occasion, was baby blue, created by one of Kate's favourite British designers, Jenny Packham. The designer's website crashed as online shoppers chased a copy, but no luck, it's a one-off. No problem though with the shoes, simple cream wedges, just over $100. And the young prince was wrapped in a white blanket over a muslin cloth that cost just $25. After all the waiting, for the crowd and the cameras, there'd been one more delay. Almost 6 hours, a sudden London downpour, hailstones too. The moment on the steps of St Mary's was also a chance to see the striking similarities and the subtle differences between the day baby William left hospital and today's first appearance of the royal infant. William in shirt sleeves, Charles in a suit, Kate and Diana both in polka dots, but Kate's frock much more form-fitting, not scared of showing a little post-delivery tummy. Today, Prince Charles was on the steps of St Mary's again with his twinkly and crinkly smile, visiting the hospital for a first glimpse of his first grandchild. No Diana to enjoy the moment, but for Camilla, it was an openly happy occasion for all to see. Charles re-emerging shortly after, delighted by the baby. It was a careful day for Kate's mum and dad, Carol and Michael Middleton, arriving at the hospital. Nothing fancy, in a London cab. But they were drawn to the crowd when they came out.
He's absolutely beautiful. They're both doing really well, and we're so thrilled.
How are the parents doing?
Fabulously.
Then off again, once more in a cab, this day, their crowning glory. Visits over, William and Kate's ride home arrived. Well-wishers allowed to close in, racing for a front row posse. nurses from the hospital joining the throng on the footpath.
Lovely new family going home, happy and healthy. Just a wonderful experience. We're very, very lucky and very proud to be a part of it.
Everyone in the crowd absolutely relishing this moment.
You know, I love them so much, you know.
It was wonderful. It was worth waiting 8 hours.
They passed us and they're right in the car and they were all excited. They were saying, oh, princesses, princesses.
I couldn't see the baby because obviously the baby was bundled up, but Kate looked beautiful.
Forget the cameras and the crowds and the swish Range Rover for a moment, and it could have been like so many other ordinary young couples, clipping in the baby capsule almost as though he's been practicing a wipe of the royal brow. Then, behind the wheel and off to Kensington Palace, the other moment new parents know all so well. A journey of discovery, home from hospital, with a gorgeous little bundle in the back seat. Peter Stefanovic, 9 News, London.
Well, the royal baby's perfectly behaved debut was the signal for another outpouring of jubilation in London. While we wait for a name, attention is now turning to the christening and his first meeting with his great-granny.
Shh. You'll wake the baby. A synchronised salute, 41 guns from Green Park, 62 shots from the Tower of London, making it impossible for anyone in the city to miss the message. It's been only 2 years since the bells of Westminster Abbey rang for a wedding. Today, for 3 hours, their chimes echoed for a new heir. At Buckingham Palace, the daily changing of the guard was beefed up to a full-scale special performance. The traditionally stiff band of guardsmen showing the world just how happy they could be. Well-wishers stood shoulder to shoulder, perhaps hoping for a glimpse of the future king. One person who is yet to meet the prince is his great-grandmother, the Queen. Right now, she's at Buckingham Palace. Her standard is flying, so it won't be long before she makes her way to Kensington Palace for that first, very important cuddle. A cuddle was one of Diana's specialties. The royal christening, now the next event. Baby Cambridge will wear a replica of the intricate white satin gown worn by his father and generations since Queen Victoria's daughter back in 1841. The original too fragile after nearly 170 years' service. Prince William will soon be back at work and Kate could be planning to spend a few weeks at her family home in Bucklebury, where the locals were celebrating their first glimpse.
They'll make absolutely fantastic parents. They're so grounded, so modern. They'll bring that child up beautifully.
A celebration that went long into the night as they staked their claim to the newest Cambridge, a baby who'll be their king. Lizzie Pearl, 9 News, London.
For now, the little prince is tucked up in Kensington Palace, well away from the spotlight. An extraordinary life awaits him, and it will be shaped in part by his late grandmother, Diana.
William at the wheel, the most famous baby in the world, snug in the back seat. Home for the first time, and what a home. Kensington Palace, a sprawling royal estate in the heart of London on the western end of Hyde Park. It's a short drive from Buckingham Palace. William and Harry grew up here, their mother Diana ensuring they experienced life beyond the palace walls.
She played a huge part in my life and Harry's growing up, in how we saw things and how we experienced things. She very much wanted to take us away from the sort of the royal aspect of life, if you like, and get us to see the rawness of real love, and I can't thank her enough for that.
William, Kate and their new baby will live in a 2-bedroom cottage while renovations are completed on their 4-storey, 20-room apartment.
So this is apartment 1A.
It was home to the Queen's late sister, Princess Margaret.
This is the drawing room. It's very stylish, semi-theatrical.
For all the splendour and privilege about to surround the young prince, it's clear William and Kate are determined to give the future king something approaching a normal life.
That we should curb the use of the word normal and start thinking about him being happy, about finding a way to make the most of this extraordinary hand that fate has dealt him.
Like his father, a destiny that's preordained. When he becomes king, he'll be Supreme Governor of the Church of England, head of state of 16 countries, possibly Australia. Before all that, it will feel like every step of his early years will be snapped, filmed and tweeted. The first heir of the digital age. Mark Burrows, 9 News.
Live now to Lizzie Pearl at Buckingham Palace. And Lizzie, we still don't have a name, but we might know who the godparents are likely to be.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to wait too long for that. Christenings are usually private affairs in the royal family, but we may find the situation where we are released a photograph or perhaps some footage. Royal babies usually have 5 or 6 godparents. In the case of the Prince of Wales, he had 8. And as expected, it is emerging that Prince Harry may be named as one of the godfathers. Also, Kate's younger brother, James Middleton, and her younger sister, Pippa Middleton, are also emerging as some of the favourites to take on those important roles. We may also find the situation where some of Prince William's school friends are named as godfathers. When Prince William was christened, he had lords and former kings named in those important roles. This little baby will have more of a normal upbringing, so we may find some of the more normal, down-to-earth folk in the Duke and Duchess's lives may be given those very important roles as godparents, but we'll just have to wait and see.
And Australia's gift to the new prince will include a touch of South Australia. The Prime Minister will send the family a Mem Fox book, which the author will sign once the baby's name is revealed.
She's been playing possum for weeks.
I've been sitting on it. I didn't even tell my daughter. I was too scared to tell her.
But now Mem Fox is able to share her big news. A copy of her book, 10 Little Fingers and 10 Little Toes, will be sent to the newborn prince.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
The book chosen by Kevin Rudd as part of an official Australian gift pack. Perhaps it's a family favourite. Mem gave his daughter Jessica a copy written in Chinese.
Her husband is Chinese, and I don't know any Chinese people, so I gave it to her.
Some may be surprised by the choice. It's not her most famous book, but when it was released, it spent 18 weeks on the New York Times bestsellers list. And there's a few other publications hoping to emulate that success. A new royal baby spells war for magazines as editors go head-to-head in the battle for our business.
My team have been hard at work looking at every single frame from every single photographer.
She's got like a wind in her hair and a very natural smile that is just a winner all round for us.
The special editions will hit stands Friday. Elise Baker, 9 News.